So, first things first, Scott, how are you?
I'm good, thank you.
Okay, good to hear. So, before we talk about the music, I'd like to jump back a little bit. When you were young, you played the violin.
Yeah,
Did you like it?
I liked it very much.
Okay.
My sisters stopped playing because I mean I had that phase too when it wasn't very cool when you
hmm
became a teenager. But I found my way back to the
hmm
violin.
Because I believe where you grew up, a lot of people were playing violin. So,
Yeah,
was it kind of expected that you take up the instrument?
yeah,
Okay.
it was yeah.
But
And I saw everybody do it. I saw my sisters do it. It was just natural
mhm.
when it was time for me to get my little violin.
So now looking back then and making the music that you make now, did it help having that background in playing the violin and
I think so. I think I've realized more and more that how much it gave me actually.
mm,
Just the whole spirit of folk music
mm,
and playing together is very not pretentious. It's very open, allowing. It's just fun.
mm.
It's for dancing and just having fun and also I think the language it's a bit melancholic
Mm.
and very emotional, and I think it affected also my melodies
Okay.
now, I think.
And I believe because there has been some confusion about I think the way you describe where you're from, but you're from a small village,
Yeah,
and
no commune, no,
exactly.
it's
So
no trading with food or anything like that.
no, but so was there a very vibrant kind of community to make music? Was everybody getting together and playing music and
Yeah, we have something called spelmansstämma, which is usually we find a really beautiful place. It could be a meadow or somewhere in the forest or a barn where we just get together and we jam all night. And that's tradition, and it
is there a memory from that time that sticks out for you?
sticks out. Not really sticks out. I mean, I have so many memories of
Sure.
that. So it's just very natural.
And
We
then when did you discover Final Fantasy?
I got some friends when I became a teenager that introduced me to
Mm.
the world of video games and computer games. And I've actually never played Final
Okay.
Fantasy, but I've been listening to the music a lot. So that's actually one of the games that I haven't played yet, but I'm a big fan of the music.
What struck you about the music?
Um, I guess it wasn't a very big step from folk
Okay.
music because it's so much folk music in these adventure games,
Right.
and a lot of world folk music, strong melodies and in video games and with movies and everything is about painting the whole
Right.
situation and the world and um, what's happening if you're having a fight or if you meet the boss, like you can hear it
Sure.
in the music, and that's so interesting to me.
So was it quickly after kind of being introduced to those kind of sounds in that music that you delved into producing music yourself?
Sorry, say that again.
Was it quickly after that you delved into or started looking into producing music yourself?
Yeah, because I wanted to do it myself, so I downloaded a tracker program
Okay.
when you could produce your own, like, quite basic
hmm
8-bit-ish
Okay.
sounding music. So I started maybe when I was 13
Okay.
um, to make instrumental music
Mhm.
like that.
And looking back now at the first kind of things that you made, could you hear what you were trying to do? Could you hear?
Yeah, I can. I have. I still have. I have the songs, like hundreds
Okay.
of little songs, and I might even use something for pop later. Yeah.
So when did the point come that you thought, okay, now I've made something good. I'm proud of what I've made now, and I'm gonna try and share it with somebody.
Oh, you mean when I started to write pop instead of?
Yeah, maybe. But
Yeah.
just the idea of not just making music for yourself, but to try and
Oh yeah. So I think it was about that time when I started to dream about becoming a composer
okay.
of some kind.
Mm-hmm.
And when I got older and I got a piano from a neighbor, I started to experiment with my voice and started to play the piano too. And then it was just so natural for me to start writing on the piano. And then from making instrumental music with like blip sounds, I started making things that started to sound more like pop, basically. And I think it was then I realized I want to become a songwriter for other artists, because I didn't really admit to myself at that time that maybe I wanted to sing the songs myself and
Why not?
be the artist. I think I was a bit too shy, and I felt like it seemed nice and safe to be in the background and be, behind the curtains and make the music. That seemed safe to me.
Right.
But then when I tried that, it didn't really work because I wasn't really okay with letting go of the music and letting someone else take it the last, it's about, if you're going to be a good songwriter, you have to really make it about the artist you're writing with and make them put their soul into music.
Right.
And you have to take a step back and you don't have the last word. And I wasn't really okay with that. I got too attached to the songs and I wanted to have it my way, so I had to become an artist instead.
Did it come naturally to you to put thoughts onto paper? Kind of personal thoughts?
Yeah. I've always been writing very simple poems. But I would say that the music have always been the most natural part of the songwriting process. So the words and the lyrics is something that I'm just recently getting better at.
Okay.
So.
And well, I wrote a bunch of stuff down about the song, so we can maybe get into it in a minute. But once you've decided, okay, I want to be the artist yourself, so about yourself, what did you do? Was it a difficult time? Because, like you say, you were a bit shy, and
yeah, it's been a challenge. And I've learned a lot about myself since I became an artist. But it's still not. It was still so natural, and because I know when I was going to have my first show and do it live for the first time, my own songs, and I was really worried that because you hear about artists that don't like that part of being an artist and they're not performing artists really. And I was really worried because I didn't know how I would react going up on the stage and be in front of that many people and putting my personal thoughts out there. And so I was really, really nervous for many days, couldn't eat before the first show, and then I really doubted, like, what am I doing? This is crazy. But when I was on the stage, I realized that I loved it. Like the part being on stage, everything around can be quite tough sometimes with being nervous and everything. I'm still very nervous, but the moment you're on stage, that's something very special.
And this might be too difficult to describe, but what is that feeling? Can you I'm not sure if it's if we can put it into words, but I'm just trying to.
It is very interesting. It's.
Are you very conscious on stage?
I'm trying not to be too conscious, because the second you start like questioning, like, what am I doing? What am I singing? Like, what? How can you start questioning the lyrics and everything? Then that's when you lose your words and forget things. So I just try to just be present. And in the music, that's where you're supposed to be when you're on stage. But sometimes your mind goes out and start like, whoa, like questioning and start thinking about details, and that's usually when I might lose a word or two.